Nuwa is the Guardian of Heaven, which is a bit of an ironic name, because honestly, she'll send you to heaven more than she'll guard it. As a bursty, technically immobile squishy mage, she runs around the battlefield more often than not, just setting up stuns and bursting a target to half HP, so then your jungler can come in and clean up the kill and get all the kills. She plays really well with a coordinated team, but she's otherwise a relatively low skill way to succeed in the mid lane, utilizing her global ult to pick up kills and assists from the comfort of your tier 1 tower. Her passive is Strength of Wood, which causes her next basic attack ability to root the enemies she hits. It has a 15-second cooldown, but it is reduced by each basic attack, so it's literally never 15 seconds. The ability is great for securing your full burst combo, or if you're confident with your skill shots, you can use it to root them for a little bit longer inside of your first ability, which is Mysterious Fog. She sends a fog cloud that slowly drifts forward for a very long time. Enemies hit by the fog take a burst of damage, which is much higher than any subsequent damage that they take from the fog, but the burst is mostly what you're looking to secure. But if you can root them inside of it to get a couple more ticks of dot from your fog, that's good too. But it's her main movement ability, as her and her allies also gain movement speed when they're inside the fog, and they also turn invisible. Nuwa, though, importantly, keeps the movement speed for 5 seconds after leaving the fog. And when you stack Mysterious Fog with the new cooldown builds and Gem of Focus, Nuwa moves at an unbelievable speed, allowing you to just rotate to fights or juke within the fog or outside of it even really easily once you get comfortable with her movement. Using your fog to its best of its abilities is one of the biggest distinctions between a good and a bad Nuwa player. Her second ability is Clay Soldiers, which summons soldiers to attack nearby enemies. You can target an enemy close by and they'll dash to the target, and then you can even combo with your 3, which I'll explain later. Additionally, when you cast Clay Soldiers, it will give you flat penetration, which is extremely powerful. If you're coming from Smite 1, you might think that flat pen isn't that important. It's on a lot of items, you know, in Smite 1. But in Smite 2, flat pen is extremely hard to come by. And the fact that Nuwa gains a large amount of it allows her to do decent damage, and it's a very nice steroid for any mage. To combo Clay Soldiers with your third ability, we gotta move on to the third ability. Shining Metal is a straight line projectile that deals damage to enemies it passes through. However, if the projectile hits a Clay Soldier, the soldier explodes, dealing additional damage for each soldier you explode, which is up to 3 because you can only have up to 3 soldiers, and stunning any enemies caught in the explosion. This is Nuwa's big burst combo, letting her set up further damage from her allies as well, as her stun is nigh impossible to miss. To maximize your effectiveness though, you do want to hit both the enemy god with your Shining Metal as well as hitting your soldiers so that they explode. If you only hit the soldiers, you'll deal significantly less damage, but if you only hit the Shining Metal, you won't stun them. However, this isn't all that her 3 does. After you cast it, it augments her basic attacks, making them have a massive area of effect. You can actually use this to stagger minions and stack them on top of each other in lane, especially in the first wave, allowing you to very efficiently clear the first wave before any other mage has even a chance to finish clearing theirs. This allows Nuwa to really be set up as a lane bully, or really dominant laner. Though she's easily ganked, if you do have a great mid-jungle duo, those two can get fed off each other really easily. Finally, Nuwa's iconic ultimate is Fire Shards. You become CC immune and fly up into the sky, become untargetable, granting your team vision of the entire enemy team, and after delay, she will smash the enemies with a meteor from the sky, and then come back down onto the ground. This does a respectable amount of damage, and it's usually why Nuwa is always top damage in every game she's in. Using items and red buff, her Fire Shards also nuke off another 10% of the enemy's HP bar on top of your base damage, which makes it really annoying once she gets build and red buff. It's like, oh my god. After you finish casting, it also augments your basic attacks as well, making them travel much further and faster. Ultimately, though hirez has nerfed over 200% of her scaling off of her kit, Nuwa remains to be a powerful mid laner. She deals much less damage than before, especially compared to Smite 1, but Polynomicon and Soul Reaver can fix the lack of damage that she has in her kit, and the amount of utility she provides to a team is difficult to match. While she's much less of a burst mage as she is in Smite 1, she's still a respectable and reliable mid laner with oppressive clear and crowd control, making her a very fun pick for the mid lane. You can check out Nuwa builds at any of the sites you see on the screen now, but also here's a build I've cooked up for the new CDR meta. It's probably wrong, but hey, I can vouch that it's very fun to play.